What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to build and play Olorun in Smite, and the three main game modes I'm going to talk about are going to be Arena, Joust and Conquest. And as always, I will leave in the description below timestamps for when I'm talking about each game mode, in case you want to skip to a certain game mode and see how you build them in that. Now let's get straight into it. As always, we're going to start off with his abilities, just for the people who are trying to learn Olorun from like scratch. We're going to go through the abilities to explain what each of the abilities does, as well as its passive, and then we're going to move on to the builds. Now I'm just going to start off by saying that with a god like Olorun, his builds for Arena, Joust and Conquest, and pretty much everywhere he's played, are very similar, just because he is best when he is built auto attack based, unlike Sol. In my guide I said you can build her ability as well, which is what I prefer, because her autos, like her thing still works well even though you build ability based. But with Olorun, he's just crazy good when you build him auto attack. So you will see that the builds are very similar with just like small differences. But yeah, let's get into the abilities. So his passive is basically, after reaching 150 power, he gains 50% critical hit chance and a further 1% per 10 magical power from items. So as you can see, there's passive over here. It's 0% right now. Once I get 150, it'll be at 15, and then every 10 power I get, I'll get another 1% critical hit chance, and that will cap at 70%. And unlike hunters, his critical strikes only do 60% extra damage rather than 100%. But it's still like really good anyway, because 70% for like or ADC or carry mage is like really good. And I think Olorun is by far the best mage carry. But yeah, that's just because of the critical hits that he can get, and he can obviously out auto different auto attacking hunters like Kronos or Sol or Freya, I think, and that's why I think he's really good, because of the critical hit chance. So his first ability, just to show you guys, is he charges up this ball and he basically shoots it. It's a very simple ability, and the longer you charge it, it travels further, but you got to bear in mind that charging it for longer doesn't increase the damage. I'll just show you right here. So I can charge this up and it does 196 damage, but if I just do it instantly, it's still 196 damage. But what you do want to realize is that it's better to use this. As you can see here, it's this ability can also critical hit and provide stacks of overflowing divinity, which is number 2. I'll just show you guys that. So he basically gives himself a little buff, and he gains attack speed, 40% to be precise. It lasts for 6 seconds, and what happens is, as you can see up here, I get like a little circle. Once I activate that, that starts charging up. And it's basically like his passive building up. Well, not his passive, his two's passive building up, as you can see down here as well. And then within 4 seconds you can refire the ability. So I've got it up right now. Within 4 seconds you can refire it, and the more it's charged up, the more it will hit the enemy. And you also want to realize that if it's got more in it, it will shoot faster. I'll demonstrate that here. So if I just got that many stacks, it's pretty slow, but if I build it up even more, well, it's not even stacking. I'll wait for it to start working. Do that over here. I'll do that again, but I will demonstrate now as well that his 1 also stacks it. So if I activate it, you'll see that once I hit that, it does stack it. So now that I stack it even more, I'll get it to the halfway point. There we go. So you can see that it shoots faster as well, and it shoots more as well. So that's what his number 2 is basically. What you do want to realize is that subsequent hits, I think it is, do less damage on the same enemy. So each time one of those things crashes down, it does less damage to the same god, and that's basically his number 2. You can see there it caps at 20 stacks, which is when it's going to do the most damage, obviously, because it's going to shoot more. Now to get into his third ability is basically a knockback, a heal and a slow. So you knock back enemy gods and slow them for 2 seconds, and you heal your allied gods. And the really cool thing about this ability is that per allied god that you heal, you gain protections. So at max rank you gain 60 per allied god, meaning you're going to have to multiply that by 4, as you're going to have a maximum of 4 allied gods, and then you're going to gain that many protections. So it's a really good ability, and it's really good to use against gods when you are close up to them. You activate your 2, knock them back, and they're slowed, and you can just keep on auto attacking them. and then it's just really good for burst. So that's his third ability, and his final ability, he basically debuffs everything the enemy does 40% slower, and buffs himself up 30%. So he'll be like moving faster and everything, and that lasts for 5 seconds. I'll demonstrate that here as well. It's really big. It's like basically a slow-mo. So they're slow now. I'm quicker now. As you can see, I've got 370 movement speed. Well, it should be higher. I don't know why it's not higher. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's because I had items before, but it should make you quicker. Also impacts the effects of buffs, debuffs. Olorun himself benefits from the sanctified field in a similar way. So, I mean, if it says they move slower, I feel like you should move faster. But yeah, that's about it. They just move slow-mo, and that's that. Now that we've gone through the abilities, I'm going to move on to the build. Like I said, the builds are very similar for all the game modes. But without further ado, let's get into it. So for Arena, we're going to start off with Hunter's Blessing, because you do want the attack speed when it's stacked. And then I'll go into Bancrofts, just because one thing you want to realize is when you get further down into the game, with Bancroft's passive, if you're at lower health, you will actually have a higher crit chance because of the power that you're getting from Bancrofts. Because it's an item, it does help stack your critical chance. Next, I actually prefer to go Shoes of Magi, just because if you're hitting with auto attacks, as you can see here, auto damage is 148, and with normal boots it is 143. So I mean, it's just 5, but the extra 20 power is always beneficial if you are auto-attacking. Every auto-attack hits harder, so it's going to be nicer. And yeah, I just feel like the life steal as well helps with the Bancrofts. Next I will go into Demonic and then Telekines, just because you do want to be building that attack speed. I'll demonstrate now. So I've got 1.94 with my 2 active. I've got 2.36, and I'm just stacking everything up, and that's basically how you just want to be bursting. Next I'll get a Typhons, so I'm getting the 30% penetration from Demonic if I land 3 basic attacks, and then the last 10% from Typhons. Not to mention that with Bancrofts you get even more power, and then when you get lower you get more power from Bancrofts, and your healing is just going to be amazing. The amount of times I just lose against Oloruns just because they have the Typhons and the Bancrofts, and not to mention they heal from their 3 as well, so the healing is crazy. So it's just really annoying to verse against them. And last item, you will get a Rod of Tahuti, and that is mainly because once you're bursting them, so if I activate my 2, once you're bursting them, you're going to start doing more damage than when they're lower, and all of those things are going to start doing more damage as well, and your burst is just going to be crazy. It's just really good for completely destroying them, not to mention that you crit as well. So I'll demonstrate on Neath over here. You'll see that it does crazy damage. I do that. Yeah, see, that was a 900 crit. Like, where did it say that? 900 from just one of my ones, and that was mainly because she was below 50% health. So if I do that, like, it's really hard to fight Olorun when he's got that Rod of Tahuti. Even if you go into his popular items, you will see that the Rod of Tahuti is there, because when he bursts you with the crits and you get lower, he just starts doing crazy damage, and there is no way you can compete with him. And I'm going to be 100% honest here, this build is the build that you want to be going. Now, if you're playing in Joust, this is going to be the exact same build that you want to be going for Joust, just because it works really well in every game mode. Maybe in Joust, because it is a longer game mode, a bit more sustained with mana, and you want to be using your abilities a bit more, you can choose to go Shoes of Focus. And because it is Joust and you're going to be staying up for quite a long time, you might want to be using your abilities more, ulting more to help your allies, so you can go Chronos Pendant instead. And this is what you want to be building in Joust. If you did skip here and you want to hear the explanations for the items, you can just go back to the Arena build. As like I said in the beginning of the video, the builds for Olorun are really similar. It's just about building 2 to 3 attack speed items, and then you get that Typhons. Then you can get a Chronos Pendant, and then you can change boots for whatever you want, really. Now, if they have healing, it's purely up to you what you prefer. If you feel like you're really good at hitting auto attacks, just go ahead and get the Toxic Blade. If you are struggling to hit the auto attacks and you feel more comfortable hitting abilities, get the Divine Ruin. If they're healing like crazy, then just get both of the items. But in a game mode like Joust, they're going to be healing quite a lot. Like, they'll most likely have lifesteal like you do, double lifesteal. So me personally, I'd prefer to get the Toxic Blade, just because when you have your 2 active, you're at 2.5 attack speed and you're going to be destroying everyone in the game. Yeah, and I'm kind of bragging, but this god is like busted. As you can see, I don't have Rod, but I'm still doing crazy damage. And that's basically that. So now I do have the Toxic Blade. You can in fact also sell the boots and go a Divine Ruin. That is completely up to you. Me personally, I would just stick with the Toxic Blade and get a different power item like a Rod. Like I said before, I just realized I got 2 rods here, but no one cares about that. I prefer the Rod because you want to get as much attack speed on Olorun as you can. 855 damage, oh my god. And that is basically how you want to be building Olorun in Joust. Now, I am going to start from fresh in Conquest and just do an explanation again regarding if you're playing mid, hunter. The thing with Olorun is, if he's playing mid or carry, he's pretty much have the same build because you want to be building Olorun attack speed anyway. So if you're playing hunter, if you're playing mid or carry, I still suggest you go for the Hunter's Blessing, as the auto attacking early game, the tower pressure you're going to get, the clearing minions is just going to be a lot better for you. And I am obviously going to say start off with tier 1 Bancrofts, go into boost just so you can compete a bit more with the wave clear with your 1, and activate your 2 and 3 more with the extra 10% cooldown. You'd be surprised that when your abilities are on like 1 second left and you really want to use it but you can't, and you're like, I wish I had the 10% cooldown. You want to finish your Bancrofts and straight away go into your attack speed items. You want to get the attack speed on Olorun online as soon as possible, as it's just going to help you peel characters like really well in the background as well. And it's even better if you're mid and your carry is also doing a lot of damage, like with auto attacks in the background. The auto damage you're going to be doing is going to be crazy, and your tower push is going to be a lot better as well with the attack speed. Now this is the point where I'm going to mention, if they have a lot of healers, I suggest you go Toxic Blade first, then go Demonic, and then get Telekines. If they don't have like a lot of healing, but they get the healing online, if you see gods getting like a Typhon's 5th item and you're just like, oh my god, they're healing a lot, then get the Toxic Blade after. If you're less comfortable with hitting auto attacks and you want to go more for the safe damaging, like if you can hit your 2 better or your 3, or you think it's easier to apply your 1 to them, then by all means you can get Divine instead. But me personally, I prefer to get the Toxic Blade, so I will get that. And then last item, again it's up to you. So you got the 30% penetration from Demonic Grip. If you want to go for the full 40%, you can go for the Typhons now, or if you just want to be doing like huge damage right now, go for the Rod. And then if you're going to be getting kills more easily now because of the extra damage, you can then sell your boots and go for a Typhons. But on Olorun, I highly recommend that you get the Typhons and the Bancrofts, because Olorun double lifesteal works so well. And what you got to also realize is that if you're attacking like a lot, you got to realize that you're going to be lifestealing a lot more as well, and it's going to be really hard to out-auto you, especially if it's a mage. If they're using abilities and you're constantly auto-attacking them, you're going to be lifestealing a lot and healing a lot. So I'll quickly demonstrate on the Fire Giant. So as you can see, I'm like lifestealing a lot. I've still not lost any health. I can do my 1, I can do that, I can heal myself, I can... So that was just me using... I know I have the reduced cooldown, I'm still full health just because of my 3 healing and my full lifesteal, and with my 2 active I do get 2.5 attack speed. So it's really hard to kill Olorun with double lifesteal. That's my biggest advice for Olorun. Now to move on for the relics, I always say it's up to you. There's very few gods like, I don't know, like Yamei, if you want to do a blink, Yamei freeze. But with most gods, it is purely up to you what relics you want to get. You got to look at the game situation. If they got like an Ares or Dadaji, you obviously want to get beads. But most of the time I will just get Aegis and beads, because they will have some annoying CC where you can't do anything and it is just really frustrating. And yeah, so now to move on with some tips. I'll always say start off your fights with your 2 active. Attack them a few times and then hit them with your 1. Reason for that being, when you have your 2 active, you're building your passive obviously of your 2, and the reason you're saving your 1 for activating your 2 is so you can build your passive of your 2 even more, because as you can see here, it does stack it. And mid-fight, you want to try and get close to them, slow them, and then do your 2. So now they're moving slow and they can't really do anything. I'll demonstrate that on the Neath as well. Where's the Neath? Can't find her. I'm blind. There we go. I'm actually going to demonstrate on a more tankier god like a Ymir. So you want to activate your 2, start attacking them. See, they're freezing you. But it doesn't happen. I mean, it doesn't matter because, you know, you just do a lot of damage. Actually, I'll do go on you as well then. So you activate your 2, hit them with your 1, and he's already dead because you're critting. See what I mean? It's just crazy. You can see the auto attacks. He cannot just do anything. Imagine if there was a frostbound, that would be crazy. Activate your 2, knock them back. If he was still alive, you can still bring that down. And you're just going to be doing crazy damage. I'll demonstrate on the Gold Fury as well, because he's going to be surviving a bit longer. So I'll do that. Auto attack, hit him with that. Okay, never mind. Everyone is useless. Yeah, as you can see, the crits with Olorun are just crazy. My second tip is, to be fair, it's not always it's not really a tip, but it's like some advice that if you're low, it is fairly good. You can see my crit percent 64, 67. That's because of the Bancroft. See, I'm getting low, I'm getting more power, and now I'm capped. 70% crit chance. Activate my 2 now. Heal myself. And I was almost full health there. So being low with Bancrofts, like I said before, gives you more crit chance. So that's why it's really good to get on Olorun. And yeah, level ability order, I would say for your clay, go with your 1 first, just because it's going to be hitting the whole wave and this is really good. Second, it's like a tough one because with Olorun, all 3 of his abilities are good. The thing, maybe I would say, like, it depends. If you're like dying a lot and you want to heal more, you do your 3. With Overflow Divinity, you have 40% attack speed at all ranks, so it's not like upgrading it will increase your attack speed. Me personally, I would do my 1, 2, 3, and then 4. But that's just me. You don't need to level your ult because I feel like it doesn't change anything other than the cooldown. But that's about it. So 1, 2, 3 for me. You can also go 1, 3, 2, but 1 you want to go first just for your clear. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you have any comments, like I missed anything, leave in the comments below. I'll try and pin it if it's like something really important. But other than that, like the video if you did enjoy, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.